The Double Black Diamond Solar Facility is the 2025 Solar Builder Project of the Year for the over 10 megawatt category. This 593 megawatt project in Virden, Illinois provides a new energy source for the city of Chicago, where approximately 70% of the electricity will be used by city-run facilities, such as major travel hubs like O'Hare and Midway airports. The project used two types of solar modules, which require two installation methods. Here to talk about the project are Matt Jones, Senior Director of Project Management at Swift Current Energy, the project developer, Philip Westerby, Chief of Project Execution, also with Swift, Ryan Greenewalt, VP of Pre-Construction at McCarthy Building Companies, the EPC on the project, and Justin Peterson, Senior VP of Operations, also with McCarthy. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I just wanted to start off with if you could give me some background on the project and why it was needed.
So the Double Black Diamond project, right, located in Central Illinois, really came about, right, as to fill a need for, long-term, sustainable, competitive, power generation in the region. We were actually able to, with the project, we've been able to fill a growing demand for, as I said, large scale in highly competitive long-term power generation, which is key for the growing power demand that's in the state. With that, right, we also, the offtake of the power goes to, some of the in-state entities such as City of Chicago, right? So power is going to be used for the airports there in the city, as well as Loyola University, as well as many others. But yeah, it's been a key project in, for Swift Current Energy.
Yeah, Double Black Diamond, it was really needed for the community. And at the time, they didn't probably think so, but at the end, I think a lot of perspectives changed.
600 megawatts AC, 800 megawatts DC. This single project was constructed and at the time was able to double the amount of PV renewable energy in the state of Illinois. And with that, in 18 months, being able to double the amount of PV energy in the state of Illinois, it provided critical energy for the regional infrastructure.
We had a lot of different workforce training events and job fairs, and then also our Hard Hats charity became really involved with the area as well. We really helped address a lot of the local concerns in the area, and then how we dealt with the land itself from the landowner perspective really helped kind of change the narrative of renewable energy in the area.
The other piece of it is it being the sheer size of the project. We employed at peak around 450 union craft workers. And so this project was really the launching point, training ground for the solar industry in that particular region, and creating not only jobs but careers in the renewable energy sector as we continue to build projects after Double Black Diamond throughout the Midwest region.
Another thing that stood out to me on this project was this phased turnover approach that allowed Swift Current to generate power and revenue before the facility's entire completion. Can you explain the benefits of that approach and how it impacted installation?
With it being such a long build cycle project, we had to get creative with how we brought the plant online and work through the commissioning schedule, with it being, over a 7-8 month period there as we first got energization and backfeed to the plant. So it was really crucial working with McCarthy and timing the crews and their arrival in order to bring it on, in a timely manner, but in an organized manner. So it optimized some of the testing and gaining efficiencies there, but then also on the test revenue generation of the plant that benefited the project overall.
Yeah, so I think that's really one of the very unique aspects of this project, and one that I think both McCarthy and Swift are extremely proud of. We were really fortunate to partner with Swift early on in this project before the schedule was finalized, before all of their PPAs were finalized, And so as we were not only designing the project, but also creating the final construction schedule, we realized that, hey, it was going to be extremely difficult to flip the switch and just turn on 600 megawatts of AC power all at once. We knew that was going to be a huge, huge hurdle. We also saw that because of the size of the project, we were going to have massive portions of it completed well before we were ready to turn on that last phase. And so in collaboration with Swift, with Constellation, with all of the off-takers, we were able to develop a sequence and a schedule to actually energize and commission the plant in a sequence that matched their offtake needs, their PPA needs. So we ended up with 12 different circuits, 7 different phases on the project that we were able to energize 8 months earlier than we originally anticipated when we first started looking at this project.
Through this phased approach, we were able to resequence, like Justin said, and fix any issues, address any warranty items well before any completion dates, any contractual completion dates on the project, and really de-risk all of the liquidated damages from both the owner and McCarthy.
And just thinking about the actual installation of the project, I understand that it used a 50-50 mix of 2 different types of modules. Can you explain why that was done and how are you able to adjust the installation plan to accommodate the 2 different installation methods?
The project was initially, when we were designing it, was going to be 100% of the First Solar Series 6 Plus modules. As we got later into the design and just literally months prior to finalizing an EPC contract with McCarthy and getting to go into the field, we had the opportunity to partner with First Solar, and they brought up the opportunity where we could pilot their Series 7 technology, which did multiple things for us. It actually helped us increase the domestic content for the project, meaning using U.S.-based materials, labor, equipment, etc. So that was highly valuable. It also helped to increase the energy density of the project with the higher wattage, Series 7 modules.
The cool thing was that we were the first EPC to install and commission a brand new technology. And so that was an exciting challenge for us to take on. Within the industry, though, module changes happen on every project, just not maybe to this scale. But we had to go into redesign late in the process, and we engaged with all of our industry partners. We have a great partnership with First Solar, Nextracker, and other industry leaders. And we started to re-engineer half of the plant just after we had already mobilized. And everybody came together collaboratively and found the solutions with a creative design that did not delay the final completion of the project.
In that, we also got to partner with, our other partners in the industry, such as Nextracker, and really help kind of lead the design of the tracker system to take the new format of the Series 7 modules.
The other cool thing about it, with it being half Series 6 Plus and half 7, again, with the sheer scale of this project, one of only a few projects in the state of Illinois at the time, what it allowed us to do in partnership with the unions and the craft training. So we were able to, on one single project, successfully train from a quality, safety, installation standpoint, help all of our craft employees learn 2 separate technologies.
And Philip, I know you mentioned the impact on the city of Chicago and the 2 airports there, but can you expand a little bit more how this project benefits the region?
The Sangamon and Morgan counties alone over the life of the project will benefit over $100 million in revenues across the lifetime of the project. We had almost $800 million of investment for the project in the local communities or to build the project, but also we have community agreements that are on the order of $5 million that are going to local communities over the next several years that we're excited about to be able to partner and support these communities.
Yeah, throughout the development and the construction, process of it, we did work, closely with all the local stakeholders, right, including the county road commissioners, the county officials, the community leaders, to make sure it aligned with all their regional priorities, right? So just having a very collaborative approach there was really essential to building out the right policies and, building trust around the industry in the area.
I can tell you the landowners and the farmers love their land, and these are tight communities, and so the impact starts with the early planning. You have to be authentic in your planning with the local communities and the farmers. And so when we started doing this a vegetation plan where we are utilizing pollinators, it really showed the landowners and the farmers that we cared and we were engaged and we were trying to leave the land in a better spot.
The local landowners also, I will add, right, get the long-term leases, right, and then the project was also able to repurpose, a vacant car dealership, which we were able to purchase and repurpose into a operation and maintenance facility for the asset as well.
Most of our projects in the renewable energy sector, they're in rural communities. They're not in downtown city centers. And so when McCarthy goes into these communities, we view ourselves as guests. We're guests of those communities. We're there to be part of the community, to provide a lasting impact, but we do realize that we're guests.
Finally, because it's a celebration of this project, I wanted to get your take on what's your favorite aspect of the project.
The integration, of the new technologies to scale that were used out there. We were deploying a new module, first of its kind, and taking on a big challenge with it being so large, right? We had 1.6 million modules used on this, and roughly half of that being Series 7 modules in the first kind. So we had to get really creative with the project and taking on the new racking technology. We had to get innovative with the insurance coverages, the financing, the contracting strategies, right? With it being such a long build cycle and unfamiliar territory with all those parties, right? That normally would be involved. The other piece that I really liked was, bringing the community in it and individuals that otherwise wouldn't have had any solar experience or exposure, right? We provided a lot of the hands-on training, helping them launch new careers, right, within the industry. We were a part of the IPA and CEJA programs. So we, being one of the first projects there that qualified, met and exceeded all the obligations to incorporate different types of labor force there that otherwise wouldn't have seen those. We created training facilities right at the local colleges. We brought in new training programs to the local unions. So, many people were able to gain that experience, get that hands-on training, and now are applying that to other projects.
Really what made the project work was also, right, the collaboration and support of the local communities, right? In Sangamon and Morgan counties, we are so very thankful and appreciative of their willingness, right, to support the project all throughout, right, as well as the local landowners as well, because we're now part of the community, and we will be part of the community, right, for the next several years.
I was on a tour bus. We were touring a group around the site, and the bus driver stopped me late in the tour, and he told me about his son that didn't have a job, and he came out to the Double Black Diamond project, and he became an electrician, starting to work for the local electrical contractor, and now is a member of the IBEW and has a career path. And he was just so proud to talk about that change in his son. And to me, that was just a really great example of what can happen. It's a small scale on a huge project like that, but it really kind of identified a real positive thing. The community change in their perception from when we first came out there was outstanding.
You look at the project and just the sheer scale, the fact that we did redesign as we were mobilizing on the project. 1.6 million modules were installed, almost 1.5 million craft labor hours. Just stepping back and looking at everything that the teams were able to accomplish, it's something that I think we all can be very, very proud of.